Okay, so we are definitely in an interesting time for software engineers um, and tech professionals alike because I guess just to go straight to the point, because of AI and how fast the technology is moving, right? It's growing, it's getting more mature as the days go by. And I think it is even more interesting for those who have little to no work experience and are just trying to get into the field and they have a lot of learning to do. We have seen the news of companies laying off the thousands and everyone, the job market is jam-packed with very capable professionals, people with a lot of experience. But one thing that everyone, both new grads, inexperienced and experienced people, one thing they all have in common is the fact that when you switch jobs, you have to learn something new. And that is where I feel that the disadvantage of having a capable tool like AI becomes more visible because typically when you join a new company and you try to learn their stack, learn the way they use um, a particular language or languages or technologies, you actually have to put in effort to gain context about their system, to gain context about the way the team works and the products, and just how everything connects together. But now with AI, it's different. Even though there's some learning that's still, that you still have to do, and over time you would eventually have context about everything I mentioned earlier. I think the average person that is switching jobs or the average person that is like uh, joining a new team is spending less time learning the things that they actually should, especially if you joined a high performing team and a team where they move really fast. With AI being available, it increases the pressure on you to uh, to produce as fast as every other person on the team and to look as smart as everyone else on the team, right? A personal experience that I have is I switched teams and I moved from like a much bigger, well organized company to a smaller, I guess, startup in a way. So less structured, things move really fast, and they use like different sets of technologies. On my previous team, we used Python, and I joined a new team, and all of a sudden, it's Elixir that I had no experience with, and they use like Mongo and all these technologies that I hadn't been used to, and I found out that it's a lot easier to get lazy with learning, especially because things move fast. Everyone else seems to have a lot of context about the system, and you're expected to produce at speed. Or maybe you're not really expected to produce as fast as everyone else, but the onus is on you to make sure you're not dragging everybody else back from what they have to do, from the velocity of the team, basically. So I think the bottom line is I don't know if in the long term, like, I don't know the repercussion of having AI would be. I don't know what the repercussion would be in the long term, but certainly now, the damage it's causing, I feel like it's outweighing the benefits we're getting, because people are losing their jobs, and unfortunately, it's a lot harder to learn. And for tech professionals, especially software engineers, interviews are a lot more difficult to get through because in your day-to-day job, you use AI to increase your productivity and help you move fast, right? So you're losing some of your professional skills to AI, and all of a sudden you lose your job. You have to get back into the job market, and it's harder because it's just harder for you to keep your skills sharp when you have an assistant that is almost smarter than you are. It will be interesting to see where the world lands in the next decade, how we actually evolve to use AI. Right now, it feels like AI is here to stay, and rightfully so, because for the most part, if you have a steady job, like you have no reason to worry about why do you need to learn something new, right? So it'll be interesting to see where the world actually lands with the use of AI. Right now, I feel like we are still trying to figure that out, and unfortunately, there's been a lot of collateral damages along the way. Anyways, just wanted to share my thoughts. Hopefully, you can resonate with what I just shared, and I'll see you in the next one.